How y'all like this shirt? Don't this kind of remind you of like some pilgrim shirt? I don't know. When I think of the pilgrims, I think of this because it's just like the shirt is so baggy. Hey, what's up guys? I'm Kiya Boyd. Welcome back to my channel. Nice to see you all again. Hi. So did you guys know that my parents hated the idea of me coming to Korea? No? Well, I'm gonna tell you today. My parents were so freaking pissed that I decided to up and run away to Korea. I was working a 9-to-5 job back when I was in America. It wasn't necessarily 9 to 5, but that's just like an expression we say. I was working like 60 hours a freaking week for the government. And when I say government, I say postal service because it's a government organization. Yes. I freaking hated it. Yeah, I did hate it. But, I mean, it was a great opportunity for me when I was like 18, 19. Awesome, loved it. And kind of how my life was. And I was going to school full time too. So it was like full-time work, full-time school. Sucked. I was living on my own. My parents didn't have a part in like helping me pay my bills and like doing things for me. It was more so relying on myself to get things done, and that's kind of how I liked it because I liked my independence. I was doing all that and I was freaking miserable. Oh, I was so freaking tired of doing the same thing over and over and over. And I mean in a work environment to me that was just like so toxic and just so unhappy. I was working with a lot of older people, so the environment was definitely different. We all had different goals and aspirations of what we wanted to do. A lot of people really enjoyed their jobs. I was not one of them. When I found like out about K-pop and different things like that, I feel like it was just like such a wave and such a rush. It came at the perfect time because I was just looking for an out to do something different with my life and kind of put myself in a different environment. And I also was like trying to encourage myself to do something different when it came to my life goals and different things like that. I was really spontaneous, and I've always been like kind of spontaneous. When I see something or when I want something, I go for it without thinking. Back when I discovered EXO and different things like that, I had plans just to go visit Korea, and the concert was actually in Japan. So what I was going to do was go to Japan and just stay there the whole time and visit Korea for like a few days. But then I changed my whole plan around and I was like, no, I should go to Korea and then go to Japan for just the concert and come back to Korea. Korea was the very first country I've ever traveled to by myself and internationally. That was so crazy. Oh my God, now that I look back on it, that was the craziest crap I could have ever done. I actually kept it kind of like a secret because I told my mom and like my dad, like, hey, I want to go to Korea. Like, I'm going to go to Korea. And they laughed at me. My whole family thought I was nuts, insane, crazy, like it was something wrong with me. Nobody would take me seriously because I'm like, I want to go visit Japan. I want to go visit Korea. This is something that's like cool to me. The skepticism was real. I feel like there was like a lot of skepticism because like I'm black, and for me to be interested in something that doesn't fit inside the like box of what it means to be black, like if you don't check these boxes off, then are you considered black? This is what I liked, and I didn't really care what anybody had to say about it. My mom ended up finding out that I actually bought a ticket to go to Korea and Japan. Finally, I bought it like maybe a month before I was actually supposed to go, and she found out through Facebook. And she was so freaking mad. She started kind of going into me and crying and doing all this other stuff. You know how moms are. I'm like, but I'm an adult. Like, I was, what, 22 at the time? Oh my God, my age is showing. So I was 22 at the time, and I'm just like, I can do whatever I want. Like, this is my money. This is my time. I want to do this. This is all I care about. First of all, I was a single, solo expat traveler just in Korea. And that was so invigorating. That was so empowering for me because I'm like, I'm in Asia by myself and I'm a woman, bro. Like, I'm traveling by myself. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody. I just was like planning my own trip just to kind of sightsee and be a tourist. And that turned out to be one of the best trips and times I've ever done like in my life. So yeah, I stayed for 2 weeks and that was amazing. Had the best time ever. I went back and I was absolutely freaking depressed. Wow, I had to go back to my regular life, and that was just the worst. But then an opportunity got presented to me, and it was like a teaching program that was in China actually. So I was going to be able to go live in China and be a teacher there. And I was like, well, it's in China, so you know, why not? It was like a program that actually like taught you how to teach children, how to teach adults, these kinds of things. And after that, they would try to help you find a job in China. So I thought that would be a good opportunity, and it was something that wasn't the post office. So I was like, sure, like I want to try that. To tell my parents like this news, even when I'm not like, I wasn't like super close with them. It was just so difficult because my mom was literally so pissed at me. She was so mad. She didn't even want me to bring it up anymore. She didn't want me to discuss anything about Korea. She didn't want to hear the word Korea. At that point, she didn't want to hear anything with a K. So she would get mad. She would cry. She would say like, you're not going there, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Even when it came to China, she just was kind of like in disbelief. And my family laughed at me. They laughed me out of existence, basically. They laughed at me so hard. They thought I was the weirdest, freakiest, stupidest person. So anyways, I was supposed to go to China. I decided to book a trip to Korea for like maybe 1 month before I went to China. And yeah, that was that. So I packed up my stuff. I had already had my apartment ready in China. I had the school that I paid over $1,000 and something for, you know, the school itself. I paid for the Airbnb that I was supposed to be living in China for a long time, and I was ready to go. Okay, I had all these documents that I had to pay for, all this stuff. I even got my Chinese visa, and I'm in Korea. I'm there for 3 weeks. So I was like, you know, I kind of want to live in Korea. And the day came for my flight, and I didn't go. I missed my freaking flight to China on purpose. My heart was saying, don't go. And again, like I told you, I have those moments where I'm just so spontaneous and do really weird stuff at really random times. Those were one of those times. But me missing that flight to China turned out to be like one of the greatest things that could have happened to me, missing that flight. I look at it now and I'm just like so proud of myself, and I want to just like pat myself on the back because I went through a lot and even got a great opportunity from a Korean company. Just all of these things that happened to me were just such blessings. Like, wow, I really feel like I got lucky in so many areas of my life, and I'm so grateful. Needless to say, like even now my mom is just not the happiest with the fact that I decided to up and leave and come to Korea. Yeah, she's not happy or proud of that fact. Like she's proud of me, but she's just not happy that I live thousands of miles away. Finally happy that my mom and my dad, all the rest of them, actually kind of accepted the fact that I'm living in Korea. So if your parents are pressuring you, like say if you want to come to Korea, like if you're under 18 and your parents are like, no, like there's no reason for you to come to Korea, or kind of telling you like, you don't need to go to Korea, and kind of like not supportive in this decision. I can understand that because you are a minor. I get them being overprotective of you. Like I totally understand that, and I totally get that now. But, it's still your life. And, I know you think you want to just go and live in Korea because of what you probably see from Korean TV, Korean idols, different things like that. But then again, it's only it's just a fantasy in a way. I feel like if you really want to come live here, you need to come for a trip first before you just set your sights on living randomly in Korea. Because you might find that you don't like it, or maybe you can't handle it, because Korean society is not what you're used to, unless, you've actually lived in a Korean society before. I don't know, but it's definitely something you got to get used to, and it might like come as a shock to you. Definitely do recommend for those underage, if you do want your parents to accept you wanting to like live in Korea and come to Korea at some point, you need to have a set plan. Like you need to actually like write down a plan of what you plan on doing with the rest of your life, or a plan leading up to you staying in Korea. Because of course they're not gonna let you go if you're just like, I wanna be a K-pop idol, because that's not how it works. You gotta have something concrete. They have to be aware of like what steps that you're going to take in order to get to that point. And you have to be aware of that. You have to know the risks. You have to outweigh your pros and cons and figure all of that out. And I would recommend, like, if they just say no, why don't you ask them to kind of help you or do it together, this kind of thing. Because the more you involve your parents in this decision, I feel like it could turn out to be a good thing, instead of completely like isolating them and not letting them know anything. So if you want your disapproving parents to approve it at some point, work your way towards it. You better be getting good grades in school. You got to be doing good in school if you're in school. Because what's the point of proving your point if you're not getting good grades? What you gonna do in Korea? Get good grades. If you guys want to study at university here, that's a good idea too. If you can like come up with all of the requirements, all of the documents that are needed in order to study at university in Korea, you're golden. You're A1. Try to study here for a semester instead of just jumping straight into leaving like wherever your home is and just like living in a foreign country. You do need to test the waters, because for some it could be scary. It could be something brand new that you're not used to, and you just want to try it first before jumping straight in. And if you don't want to do necessarily a study abroad, exchange student kind of thing, you could also try a working holiday visa, which after you graduate, it has to be within a year of your graduation. You can like come and live and stay in Korea for a year and a half if you're American. So you can stay here and kind of like work a job, part-time job, and live your life. If you present all of this information to them, they would probably be more open to the idea of you leaving. And make sure you're mentally prepared for that before you go anywhere. Get your mental health together, get your happiness in check, different things like that, because that's going to definitely matter with you living on your own in Korea. But get that together, because it's really going to make a difference in the rest of the time that you live here or spend here or vacation here. And for those who are over 18, I set the option that there is to study abroad, or come study at the university, things like that, where you just come for a semester or even transfer to the university, different things like that. But a study abroad is a pretty good viable option as well, until you figure out if you want to live here or not. You do have the working holiday program if you are in school currently, because they do offer it to current students as well if you want to take a gap year, things like that. If you are someone who has graduated from college already, then you could just come over, be a teacher. You can apply for your teaching visa, different things like that, explore the country, live here on a yearly contract, whatever, and figure everything else out from there. There's also different options. You don't have to do teaching here, you don't have to do student here, but it depends on what you want to do. And you do need to have some level of Korean if you do want to go into something different besides teaching or student, whether it's beginner, fluent, different things like that. You got to start somewhere. If your parents just don't approve you living here regardless, if you're 18 and up, well, I hate to say it, but it's your life, you're legal, and that's just that. And I really hope that if you're planning on living here, you do make the best of it and that you enjoy it. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment down below, tell me your thoughts, let me know what you think of this video in general, let me know your thoughts about moving to Korea, or my parents disapproving or disapproving parents in general. Don't forget to subscribe, push the button, and don't forget to push the bell. That's very important. I want you guys to get my notifications and follow up, make sure we stay connected. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's the best place to find me and the best place to stay updated on my life. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.